this doesn't have to be nasty. This doesn't have to be what I've experienced divorce to look like.
It got nasty.
Yeah.
Country music is full of cheating songs, but some divas didn't just sing about stealing men, they made it their reality. From backstage flings to full-blown affairs, these country queens proved they could steal the spotlight and someone else's husband. Behind the glitter, rhinestones, and chart-topping hits lies a trail of stolen kisses, broken vows, and country's most shocking love scandals. Join us as we uncover the shocking affairs, love triangles, and stolen romances that rocked Nashville. Number 20, LeAnn Rimes. Rimes is well aware of the consequences of airing her dirty laundry. The country singer didn't always have the skills to deal with the public criticism she frequently encountered, especially regarding her very public affair with her husband, Eddie Cibrian. Rimes shared with FlowSpace in an interview that she quickly understood that many women have been hurt. She had experienced both sides of that situation. She was cheated on as well, so she could relate to the feeling. She further explained that a lot of women didn't know how to handle the anger. She was an easy target for projection. Once she recognized that, things became much simpler. After enduring significant public backlash due to her affair with now-husband Eddie Cibrian, LeAnn Rimes stated she was either going to be unalive or have to face it. Instead of taking it so personally, she thought that it wasn't all her pain to bear. She understood what she's accountable for in the situation and made amends for that. But the world's pain wasn't hers to carry, and she thought that was something she struggled with for a long time. Rimes and Cibrian first met while working on the Lifetime movie Northern Lights. At that time, they were both married to other people, yet they chose to pursue a relationship regardless. LeAnn Rimes was married to chef Dean Sharamet when she crossed paths with Eddie Cibrian, who was married to model Brandi Glanville. After both of them divorced their spouses and got married in 2011, Rimes faced a significant amount of criticism. She explained that starting out as a child star, she had all the protection, but she realized that if she wanted to lead a fulfilling life, she needed to learn to lower that guard. For her, it was either she wasn't going to be alive or she had to confront it. It was a matter of survival. Nowadays, Rimes and Cibrian, who have sons Mason and Jake, with ex-wife Brandi Glanville, are embracing life to the fullest and have learned to heal. Love wasn't the only thing heating up behind the scenes. These affairs left marriages in ashes. Let's look into another shocking revelation. Number 19, Shania Twain. Shania first met record producer Robert John "Mutt" Lange after he listened to her songs from her debut album in the early 1990s. Lange proposed to produce and co-write songs for her next album, and they met in June 1993. They quickly became a couple and tied the knot in December of that same year. In 2001, they welcomed a son named Asia, pronounced like Asia. Shania, Lange, and their young son traveled to Switzerland during the 1990s, where she hired Marie-Anne Thiebaud as her assistant to help manage their household and daily responsibilities. At that time, Marie-Anne was married to Frédéric Thiebaud, a Swiss executive at Nestlé, and the two families became very close. Shania later shared with Oprah Winfrey that Fred and Mutt were good friends, and Marie-Anne and her were also good friends. According to People, Lange unexpectedly informed Shania that he wanted a divorce in the summer of 2008, without providing a complete explanation for the end of their 14-year marriage. Shania turned to her best friend and assistant Marie-Anne for guidance. She asked Marie-Anne if she thinks her husband was acting oddly, and she replied, no, she didn't notice anything unusual. It turned out that Marie-Anne was not being honest. She was allegedly having an affair with Lange. Although Lange denied this, telling People that the separation was simply due to them growing apart, Shania later confirmed the betrayal herself. It was Frédéric Thiebaud who first uncovered the affair between Mutt Lange and his wife, Marie-Anne Thiebaud. As reported by the Daily Mail, he discovered unusual hotel bills, phone charges, and even a lingerie set in his wife's suitcase. Thiebaud shared with Oprah that he found out about the affair between his wife and Mutt. He told them they needed to tell Shania immediately. It was absurd, and they owed her that much. Shania recounted that when she first learned of the situation, she was taken aback. However, Marie-Anne seemingly lied once more, denying the affair and subsequently changing her phone number to prevent Shania from reaching her again. Initially rejecting Frédéric Thiebaud, heartbroken, Shania sought comfort and support from Frédéric. However, their relationship didn't begin immediately, but Shania admired how Thiebaud dealt with the scandal. Just a month later, on New Year's Day in 2011, they tied the knot in a small sunset ceremony in Rincon, Puerto Rico. Number 18, Trisha Yearwood. Yearwood tied the knot with her first husband, Chris Latham, in 1987. They ended their marriage in 1991. In 1994, she married Robert Reynolds, who was the founding bassist for the Mavericks. While they were married, they lived in a log cabin-style house in Hendersonville, Tennessee. However, they divorced in 1999 after 5 years together. Yearwood described the split as difficult in a 1999 interview with Country Weekly, saying that since she hung on to the past with her fingernails, divorce was difficult. It was a serious decision involving someone she was tied to emotionally, so it was hard to move on. Yearwood and Garth Brooks were friends and musical collaborators before they started dating. Brooks mentioned that when he first met Yearwood, it felt like that feeling when one just meets a new wife. At that time, both Yearwood and Brooks were married to other people, which is why they stayed friends during the early part of their careers. After Brooks's divorce and Yearwood's second divorce, they began dating around 2000. They got engaged in 2005 when Brooks proposed to Yearwood on stage in front of 7,000 people in Bakersfield, California. They tied the knot on December 10th, 2005, at their home in Owasso, Oklahoma. And just when fans thought the drama was over, another diva proved she could outdo the last with an even bigger love twist. Let's find out. Number 17, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Sparks ignited between the two artists when Hill opened for McGraw during his Spontaneous Combustion tour. At that time, McGraw was newly single after ending his engagement to Christine Donahue, while Hill was engaged to record producer Scott Hicks. However, Hill decided she couldn't let McGraw go and ended her engagement with Hicks. She shared in a 1998 interview that if someone was going to judge her character because she was engaged to someone and then left him for another person, she couldn't control it. But she wasn't about to let Tim slip through her fingers. In a 2006 episode of CNN's Larry King Live, McGraw mentioned that they first met in 1994 at the annual Country Radio Seminar in Nashville. As newcomers in the country music world, both Hill and McGraw took part in the New Faces show during the seminar. Although they claim there was instant chemistry, both insist that only a friendly conversation took place, as Hill had just divorced her husband Daniel Hill, and McGraw was dating Christine Donahue. The couple made their first public appearance together at Andre Agassi's Grand Slam for Children in Las Vegas just a month before they got married. For their 25th anniversary, McGraw shared a video on Instagram in 2021 detailing how he proposed to Hill. McGraw remembered that he and Hill were in a trailer while he was waiting to go on stage at an outdoor music festival when he suggested they should get married. McGraw recalled that she asked if he was asking her to marry him at a country music festival in a trailer house. He then went on stage to perform, and when he returned to the trailer, Hill had written that she was going to be his wife in lipstick on a mirror. He mentioned that they still have the mirror. Number 16, Kelsea Ballerini. A source told Page Six that Kelsea Ballerini reportedly cheated on her ex-husband, Morgan Evans, with a member of the Chainsmokers. The insider claims that Ballerini and Drew Taggart had an affair during Lollapalooza in August 2019, but she only told her husband about it in 2021. This news, along with other issues, is thought to have led Ballerini to unexpectedly end her relationship with Evans last year. A source close to Taggart mentioned that he was single when the alleged affair happened. The news about the alleged affair came out just days after the singer of Blindsided appeared on the podcast Call Her Daddy, where she shared her thoughts on the divorce. Evans recently spoke about how tough it has been to deal with the divorce after almost 5 years of marriage. He also posted a statement on social media about Ballerini's comments on the podcast, which included her saying she didn't want to have a wedding, that he was taking half the house he didn't pay for, and that she had to sleep on the couch during their fights. Evans expressed his sadness over Ballerini's remarks, saying that it was really sad for him to see the person who he spent so much of his life with and loved with all his heart, saying things that weren't reality and left out what really happened. In a social media post, he stated that she knew he was not the type of guy to speak on those things publicly. He added that if that was what she needed to heal, he hoped it helped. All he asked is that if people were on his pages, they shouldn't be mean. They shouldn't be mean to Kelsea, and they shouldn't be mean to each other. Life's too short. Number 15, Wynonna Judd. In 2007, Wynonna Judd's life changed dramatically when she found out that her second husband, D.R. Roach, had been arrested on charges of being intimate with a child and battery. Wynonna shared that at that time, they had only been married for 4 years. Her first reaction when it happened was that she was a mother first and foremost. Even with the shocking news, Wynonna was aware of the kind of man she had married. She made a surprising admission, stating that she knew what she was getting into and she tried to change it. She was aware that both Roach and her had struggles with addiction when she married him. She understood her life. She knew the people she chose, she knew why she chose them, and she genuinely believed that she could change people by loving them enough. But it doesn't work that way. Just 5 days after Roach's arrest, Wynonna initiated divorce proceedings. Years later, in 2010, Wynonna appeared on The Oprah Winfrey Show to provide an update. She revealed that she knew Roach's victim and mentioned that the healing process had started for that family. She literally had to physically, emotionally, and spiritually place them at the feet of Jesus. She also mentioned that Roach was in recovery. Regarding her own life, Wynonna got rid of anything that reminded her of Roach, explaining that she had not forgotten, but she had forgiven. Behind the glitter and microphones, more secrets unraveled, especially when vows were broken and partners replaced. Number 14, Brittany May and Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean has faced a lot of controversies, especially regarding how he ended up with his current wife, Brittany Aldean. He burst onto the country music scene in 2005 with hits from his debut self-titled album, which climbed the country charts. At that time, he was married to his high school sweetheart, Jessica Ussery, and they had been together for 4 years. Fast forward to 2012, and Jason and Ussery were still married while Brittany was competing on season 11 of American Idol. However, Jason and Brittany were spotted sharing a kiss at a bar in Los Angeles. After the photos surfaced, Jason took to social media to apologize, stating that the truth was that he messed up. He had too much to drink, let the party get out of control, and acted inappropriately at a bar. Brittany also issued an apology through TMZ regarding the incident. Despite their apologies, rumors circulated that there was more to their relationship than just a one-time drunken mistake, especially since Jason divorced Ussery in 2013. By early 2014, Jason and Brittany were dating publicly, and by September of that year, they were engaged. By March 2015, they tied the knot. Critics continued to attack Jason for the way his relationship with Brittany began. However, he told people that they didn't grasp the full story, even though he didn't clarify what it was. Aldean stated that he was not going to spend all his time defending himself. Number 13, June Carter and Johnny Cash. One of his most iconic songs is I Walk the Line, where he sings, "I keep a close watch on this heart of mine." However, he didn't keep as close an eye on it as his first wife, Vivian Liberto, wished he would. Rumors circulated about Cash's relationships with other women, and it became more than just gossip when it came to his connection with June Carter. Carter and Cash first crossed paths in 1956. At that time, Carter had been married to Carl Smith for 4 years, though they would divorce that same year, while Cash had been married to Liberto for 2 years. In 1957, Carter married Edwin Nix. As both of their careers flourished, Carter often performed on Cash's tours. Liberto grew suspicious of a romantic link between them and filed for divorce in 1966. That same year, Carter ended her second marriage. 2 years later, Cash made a public proposal to Carter on stage during a concert, and they remained married for 35 years until Carter passed away in 2003. Carter spoke about the pressure she felt at the beginning of her relationship with Cash. She shared with Rolling Stone that she was miserable, and it all came to her. She was falling in love with somebody she had no right to fall in love with. There were also claims that Carter had a fling with Elvis Presley. However, that was mostly just rumors. If you thought one affair was messy, wait until you see how the next story rewrote the rules of love and loyalty. Number 12, Becca Bowen. A few years ago, Becca Bowen and her partner made a promise to each other that made Bowen think they were in a serious relationship. But when she went on stage to perform the national anthem at an event, Bowen noticed her so-called boyfriend in the audience with another girl. Bowen remembered that she walked on stage, and she happened to look out into the audience, and the guy she was seeing was sitting there with another girl. All she could do was put on a pair of sunglasses, so she wouldn't be able to see. But they did make eye contact, and she remembered that he just threw his hands up. He had been caught, and Bowen was furious. Bowen recalls about the conversation that ended with a pretty dull apology. She left right after the performance was over, and she went home and texted him. Even though they had been friends for a long time, she didn't talk to him for a while after that because she was just so upset. Like any good singer-songwriter knows to do, Bowen says she channeled her anger into the writing room and came out with her new single, Son of a Gun. Number 11, Sara Evans. Sara Evans' husband, Craig Shelsky, who is currently estranged from her, claims that she had an affair, as stated in court documents submitted to the Williamson County Chancery Court in Franklin, Tennessee. Shelsky asserts that the day before Evans initiated divorce proceedings, he found out about his wife's close relationship with another man, which led to a heated argument between them. He also mentions that he sought legal advice to pursue a separation, but was caught off guard when his wife filed for divorce instead. In reaction to Shelsky's claims, Evans's attorney, John Hollins Sr., simply stated they rely on what was alleged in their sworn pleadings. Shortly after the divorce papers were filed, a spokesperson for Shelsky announced that Mr. Shelsky had officially responded to the claims made in Ms. Evans' petition for divorce with multiple court documents. In her initial divorce filing, Evans pointed to adultery and irreconcilable differences as reasons for the divorce. She accused Shelsky of having an affair with her friend and former nanny, Allison Clinton, and claimed that he was verbally abusive, drank and smoked around their children, and watched pornography in their home. What started as whispers soon exploded into headlines, leading us to the next shocking tale of stolen love. Number 10. Willie Nelson and Shirley Cauley. The famous country singer recently participated in the 4-part Paramount Plus documentary series Willie Nelson and Family, which tells the story of his family life and his long music career. In the series, Nelson shares that his ex-wife Shirley Cauley discovered his affair when she came across a hospital bill. This bill indicated the birth of a baby girl who was born to Mrs. Connie Nelson, also known as Connie Kepke. Nelson explains in the series that Shirley wanted to know who the heck Connie Nelson was, but the truth was that Connie had been his girlfriend for several years before she got pregnant. She had no clue there was a Connie, added LeAnn Nelson, the daughter of Nelson and his first wife, Martha Matthews. She had no idea there was a baby until she received the hospital bill. That was how she found out about Connie. Nelson has 8 kids and has been married 4 times. He was married to his high school sweetheart Matthews, then he married singer Cauley in 1963. They divorced in 1971, and that same year, he married Kepke. Nelson and Kepke divorced in 1988, and he has been married to his current wife, Annie D'Angelo, since 1991. In the documentary series, Nelson admits he has some regrets about how he dealt with his past relationships. When the spotlight faded, passion took over, and the next love story was built on betrayal. Number 9. Kenny Chesney and Amy Cauley. Star magazine claims that Kenny Chesney was unfaithful to his then-girlfriend, Amy Cauley, with ESPN reporter Jen Brown. However, by 2013, Chesney's relationship with Cauley had ended, and she was married with a child to someone else. This wasn't the first time Chesney faced cheating allegations. His ex, Lindsay Rowland, stated that they had a secret meeting before he tied the knot with Renee Zellweger. Rowland asserts that Chesney didn't even bring up his upcoming wedding to the Oscar-winning actress during their encounter. Number 8. Jason Aldean and Jessica Ulcery. While still married to Jessica Ulcery, Jason Aldean was seen kissing Brittany Kerr, a contestant from American Idol, at a bar in Hollywood. He first attempted to save his marriage and apologized to his wife for embarrassing his family and himself, but a year later, he decided to file for divorce. Aldean has since married Kerr, and they have welcomed a son named Memphis. The next story proved that sometimes the biggest performances happen off stage in someone else's marriage. Number 7. Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. In 2006, a 23-year-old model named Amanda Wyatt alleged that she had an affair with Keith Urban for several months, just before he tied the knot with Nicole Kidman. Wyatt claimed that she and Urban used to take a lot of substance together and had a passionate relationship. However, Kidman was determined not to let go. She supported Urban, and today they are happily married with 2 kids. Number 6. Naomi Judd and Larry Strickland. The touching moment occurred when Strickland reflected on a scene from the 1995 TV movie Love Can Build a Bridge, which is based on Naomi's memoir of the same title. In the reenactment, actress Kathleen York, who plays Naomi, shoots Bruce Greenwood's character, modeled after Strickland, after discovering his betrayal. Having watched the intense clip, Strickland quietly acknowledged the truth behind the story by saying it really happened and that was all he was going to say. The documentary series explores the highs and lows of the Judd family legacy, offering a raw look at their victories and struggles and how these shaped their lives. In a voiceover from her memoir, Naomi reminisced about the all-consuming love she and Strickland once shared, describing their relationship as wildly, madly, passionately in love. The scandals rolled on, each one bolder than the last, and this next tale raised the stakes even higher. Number 5. Alexis and Jimmie Allen. In June 2023, a woman named Jane Doe II filed court documents stating that country singer Jimmie Allen aggressively pursued her after they randomly met on a plane in 2022. Their relationship intensified. The lawsuit from Jane Doe II claimed that as time went on, Allen declared his love for her and mentioned that he envisioned a future together. He expressed a desire to have children with her and believed she would be a great stepmother for his kids. The plaintiff asked several times about Allen's wife, but he reassured her that he and his wife were separated. After 2 months of daily communication, the woman, who says she didn't know who Jimmie was, agreed to meet him in Las Vegas, where she alleges he assaulted her. She admitted that she initially consented to an intimate relationship, but then requested him to stop multiple times. According to her lawsuit, Jimmie disregarded her requests. Furthermore, she claimed that Jimmie attempted to secretly record their encounter. The lawsuit stated that Allen assaulted Jane Doe 2 in his hotel room and then passed out. Deeply disturbed by the assault, Jane Doe 2 was leaving the hotel room when she found out that Allen had secretly placed his cell phone in the closet facing the bed and had been recording the whole incident without her consent. As reported by Variety, the woman took the phone, returned home, handed it over to the authorities, and filed a police report. She was now suing the Grammy-nominated singer for battery, assault, invasion of privacy, and emotional distress. Additionally, she was suing Jimmie's bodyguard and the company that employed him. On July 13, 2023, the country singer countersued Jane Doe 2, asserting that the intimate encounter was consensual and that the videotaping was also agreed upon. In his legal documents, Jimmie acknowledged her account of how they met. However, he claimed that the woman stated she was fine with the encounter being recorded. In his countersuit, he further alleged that they had consensual, unprotected intimacy and that the camera was always present. Jimmie Allen has publicly apologized to his estranged wife after facing a lawsuit from his former manager for assault and sexual abuse. The Grammy-nominated artist posted a detailed statement on social media directed at Alexis, who filed for divorce just weeks before the lawsuit became known and is currently expecting their 3rd child together. Allen expressed that he sincerely wanted to apologize to his wife Alexis for embarrassing her with his affair. He felt ashamed that his actions have brought disgrace upon her. She absolutely did not deserve that. He further expressed that he also wanted to say sorry to his kids for being a bad role model as a man and a father. He was striving to become a better person that his children could look up to. His aim was to surpass the previous generation. Jimmie Allen's estranged wife, Alexis, reveals sex of baby number 3 as she celebrates Mother's Day. Allen continued by stating that the industry takes so much from them. It was filled with temptations that can break a person and destroy everything they've worked for. He was ashamed that he didn't have the strength to resist them. He refused to be a victim of his own weaknesses anymore. The country star wrapped up his message by saying that he encourages everyone to seek help when needed and not to be afraid of their weaknesses, to surround themselves with people who will support them. Number 4, Merle Haggard. Just out of San Quentin, Merle Haggard gathered wives like he did Grammy nominations, 5 in all, one of them being his bandmate Bonnie Owens. His candidness about his failures struck a chord with fans who appreciated honesty more than flawlessness. The song Today I Started Loving You Again captured the mix of hope and sorrow that comes with new beginnings, transforming his personal turmoil into genuine art. One headline faded and another quickly took its place, this time with an even messier twist. Number 3, Patti Loveless and Vince Gill. Their duets from the 1990s ignited speculation that neither of them openly discussed. My Kind of Woman seemed too genuine for just a professional partnership, and it had an intensity that went beyond a simple collaboration. Both were married and cautious, yet they demonstrated that some of the most impactful relationships can unfold in just 3-minute songs, keeping listeners intrigued. Number 2, Warren Zeiders. Warren revealed in an interview that his girlfriend was unfaithful with someone he knew. He stated that it was like a double betrayal, which was exactly what it felt like. He mentioned that, to put it simply, he definitely went through those 3 sequences, referring to the first 3 tracks on the Relapse, Lies, and Betrayal album. He said that if people take those 3 words literally, that was pretty much what he experienced. He further explained that the sad part is that it has been happening for a while, on and off, between them. He didn't want to give it too much attention because he didn't want to give her too much of a victory. In light of the heartbreak, he confessed that he was eager to hit the studio. There's nothing more healing than pouring your thoughts and emotions into music. However, since he was on his Relapse tour, his time in the studio might be limited. But that wasn't the only scandal to shake Nashville. Next came the kind of betrayal straight out of a cheating ballad. Number 1, Morgan Wallen. In 2016, Wallen started dating influencer KT Smith, and they got engaged a few months after that. However, they broke up in 2019, which she claimed was because of Wallen's cheating. Their son, Indigo, was born a few months after they split. Wallen has also had romantic ties with influencer Paige Lorenz, country singer Megan Maroney, and TV personality Kristen Cavallari. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.